preparing for CAT or for preparing for the entrance, you can ask for those material also. You can go through it once also that. Many papers available on internet based on Tata consultancy or whatever companies are coming. So many are available also. We will solve also few paper live in future. But even you are solving right now anything, you keep on asking me out from that. So next time onwards, I'll keep session on that also. What we are going to learn this time, that much you try to complete from it, minimum. Plus anything extra you complete, you can ask me. It's not an issue, right? So today means as percentage we have commenced with. So we learn morning time percentage, or in first session we learn percentage. Then we learn profit and loss. So right now I'm going to just complete this whole session. Today's in percentage. Last area is simple interest and compound interest. Simple interest and compound interest. This is also very easy topic. But anybody can give me difference between simple interest and compound interest. Whatever you know.
Yes, sir. So simple interest, the interest is not added into the principal amount while calculating the interest for the next time. But in compound interest, the interest is added into the principal amount every time the interest is calculated next time.
Okay, fine. That's great. So you are knowing like basic concepts, right? Suppose based on this, he said that, or most of you might be knowing that by simple interest means every year, right? Principal interest is not added to the principal in simple interest. While in compound interest, so principal is added to the, sorry, interest is added to the principal to make a new principal, right? So I'll give one sum, just very simple one. You try to identify this. Suppose I'll give principal as 10,000 and rate of interest just simply 10%. I'll ask you that compound means find out the interest for the 2 years. First, let me find out simple interest, and second, let me find out compound. I'm writing simple interest, and then we find out compound interest. So anybody can do this. Principal is 10,000 and the rate of interest is 10%. I want 2 years simple interest as well as compound interest.
2000.
Simple interest is 2,000. Okay. Compound interest.
$2,100.
How you got that?
Yes, sir. So I calculated means first year's principal amount after 1 year, 11,000, and again 10% of it.
Okay, that you again. So that's very nice. You know it. Now I'll give you one process. Just everybody understand it very nicely, right? And try to understand the whole concept of simple in bit a different way. Look, when I'm talking about this is number of year, first year. Simple interest is simple because once you calculate interest for a year, every year it remains same. Like if I calculate 10% on 10,000, so answer is 1,000. So first year simple interest also 1,000. Second year simple interest also 1,000. If I calculate for third year, then also simple interest to 1,000 also. Everybody understood this concept? This is very basic. So now instead of using formula, if I can find out 1 year interest, I'll multiply with the number of years. That's very simple. What happened in compound interest? Let me see now. So compound interest first year is same, 1,000. Now my method is a bit different, right? Next year you will get on principal same 1,000 rupees, but on first year interest you get 10%. That is called 100. So if somebody asks what is 2 years compound interest, so 1,000, 2,000, and 100, 21. If somebody asks what is 3 years compound interest, so I'll find out first of all third year compound interest. On principal, I'll get 1,000 rupees. Now on all this interest, what I accrued for the previous 2 years, I'll get 10%. Means on this 1,000, I'll get 10%. On this 1,000, I'll get 10%. And on this 100, I'll get 10%. So this is 3 years compound interest, means 3,000, 310. Everybody clear this concept? So basic idea is what? I'm not finding amount. I'm finding only interest, because sometimes in entrance examination they ask the question, find out the interest for third year only. So for third year only, answer is 1210. In that case, I don't have to find out third year 3 years compound interest. Then you have to find out for 2 years compound interest, and then you have to subtract. Don't do that. This is the best method. Even somebody asks what is the fourth year. If I talk about simple interest, it remains 1,000 only. While in compound interest, on principal, I'll get 1,000. And all this previous year interest, these are interest only, I'll get once again 10%. So on 1,000, 10%, on this 1,000, 10%, on this 100, 10, on this 1,000, 10%, on this 100, 10, on this 100, 10, and on this 10 rupees, 10% is 1 rupee. If I want to calculate, this is 4,000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600, right? Then 10, 20, 30, 40, and 1. So answer is 4,641. This is my compound interest of 4 years. Everyone clear? Right? And if somebody asks amount, so amount is nothing but I'll add principal 10,000 plus, so 14,641 is how much I'll get at the end of the 4 year. So the total amount is 14,641. So here what I'm doing, I'm eliminating equation. I don't want equation to use. I'll go directly. I'll not add even every year interest into the principal and create a new principal. But I'm working on that. But this approach will reduce your lots of time of calculation. Anyone clear this?
Yes, sir.
Should I explain somebody if you want?
Yes, sir. Can you please explain it later?
I'll take one more sum to just get it explained. Right? Look, one thing you remember that. Just I'll give one idea, then I'll start new sum. Principal is 10,000 and rate is 10%. Right? So what I'll get? So on 10,000, I'll get 10%. That I'll get every year. Look, because on principal you are getting 10%. That is so in simple interest also you are getting. But in compound interest, what will happen? So after first year, if I start my second year, right, I'll remove all this thing. Right? What I'll get? If I talk about second year, right? So I start my principal. On principal, I'll get 10%. That is 1,000. On this 1,000, I'll get 10%. That is 100. This is my second year interest. And 2 years total interest is 2,100. Third year, how much I'll get? So on principal, I'll get 1,000. And now all this interest, I'll get 10%. So 1,000, 10% is 100. This one is 100. And this one is 10. Are you clear? Those who ask question.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Suppose I'm giving you new 20,000, 8%. So find out everywhere. You tell me I'll write. You tell me I'll write. Just to talk about compound interest. What is the first year compound interest? So 20,000, 8%. Anyone? First year interest, 8% on 20,000.
1,600.
1,600. Sure. Okay. Now second year. So once again, 8% on 20,000, that is 1,600. And now 8% of this one, 1,680. So it is 128. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Once again, third year, 1,600. Look, once you calculate, no need to calculate again for all term. All you consider 8% of 1,600 is 128. So I'll go with 128. On this 1,600 also 120. Now 8% of this you have to find out. So 8%, right? So that is called 12%. I'll find out. Minus 1%. minus 1%. I'll go to 8%. So I'll go with 12.80 minus 2.56, right? So 10.24. But this calculation will be easier because 1600 three times, so 4800. 128 three times, so 384 and plus 10.24. So 4000 not, but 5180 94.24. This is my answer. If you use formula, then it will be complicated in terms of power. This is easier than that. If you feel even complicated here, then if you use formula of that principle in compound test, it would be more difficult for you, right? So that's what I experienced. You tried, you also experienced. You will definitely experience the same thing. That taking to the third power is very difficult. This is better. Clear? Everyone, how to calculate compound interest? Why I'm using this method, so I'll let you know now. I'll take one more sum to make you understand, right? Suppose I am giving principal of 15,000 and rate of interest is 10%. I ask difference between compound interest of 2 years and simple interest of 2 years. Question clear? So somebody is investing 15,000 rupees at 10%, right? At compound interest and same amount at simple interest. So what is the difference of the amount we'll get after 2 years? So I'll use this process in this way. Simple interest, compound interest. Now we look at here. It is, I'll conclude to some more effective conclusion. Now 15,000, 10%. That is called 1500. So first year simple interest and compound interest is same. Second year what will happen? Simple interest even as it is. Compound interest, so on principal same 1500, but I'll get 10% on 150. Now somebody can tell me what is the difference between simple interest and compound interest for 2 years? Anyone?
150.
150, right? Now, once again, you think everybody that how much I must have got 150.
This meeting is being
Somebody
recorded.
can tell me how I got 150 rupees. Can I say 150 is 10% of 1500?
Yes, sir.
And 1500 is 10% of principal. So can I say that CI of 2 years minus SI of 2 years is R% of R% of principal, right? Or in short, I can say that R upon 100 square of principal. Let me put it here. My rate of interest is 10% into principal is 15,000. This will cancel out. So 1 upon 100 into 15,000. So 20 cancel out, and my final answer is, so you can see 150. Understood, everyone? So if I calculate in my mind, I'll find out 2 times 10%. 15,000 10%, 1500, 1500 10%, 150. Right? So no need to write all this thing in exam. If they ask the question, the difference between CI and SI for 2 years. If they ask for 3 years, I'll go with the process. This is third year. On principal, on 1500, 150, on 1500, 150, and on 150, 50. So here difference is this one. Except this is called difference because these both are same. So like 15, 15, 15, call 450 plus 15, that is 465. There's a difference between simple interest and compound interest for 3 years. You can ask for 4 years. But this sum in this way would be very, very easy for you. No need to calculate much using equations. I always, right, not try to use equations. Well, because this will give me a lots of speed and confidence instead of writing equations. Hope so, if you try, you'll get the same. Everyone clear up to here? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? I'll give one question which is normally asked. Right? You try it, everybody. Right? You think in your way and try. Just for it, I'm making one sum. Make some time. Oh, this is a question. Difference between compound interest and simple interest for 2 years, 36. And rate of interest is 20%. What is the principle? What is the principle? So, what I do that, I think in my mind in this way. This is one number here, might be one number here. This is one number here, this one is here, and plus. This is 36. Everybody clear? Because this is difference between SI and CI for 2 years, 36. Are you getting concept? Now this 36 I have got from here. So which numbers 20% is 36? Which numbers 20% is 36? That we have to find out.
180.
Right? So we can say that roughly 180. And which numbers 20% is 180? Which
900.
numbers 20% is 180?
900.
900.
900. Clear? So 920% is 180 and 180 is 20% is 30. Means my principal is 900. Hope so you are clear now how we got reverse case. You have to answer reverse question and that you can find out. Suppose I don't know that. Suppose this number is, I don't know, I, let me call it. So 20% of I is 36. So I get from here like I equal to 180. 10 goes here. And once again, principal's 20% is 180. So principal equal to 900. Everybody understood? So these are the most asked question. The difference between CI and SI. Right? For 2 years. So I'll give you one sum, but this is only simple compound. Much will not be there. But through some sums, I'll teach you a few things. Right? So let me start. Hope so. I'll make sure that this process you remember nicely, right? I'll share screen for that. Wait. Can you find out first question? Just simple question. Make sure that you use less time. What is the simple interest on 6,500? Right. 13% per annum for 4 years. So it's a simple interest, remain constant every year. Agree? So give me answer of this question. You can do like this. This is 1 year interest and you want 4 year interest. So multiply it with 4. This you are popularly known as P R T upon 100. This formula, if you remember. But it's same, our logical thing is the principal, right? Rate of interest is 1 year multiplied by 4 years. So what we answer? 260 into 13. So 169 to the 338 Right. Hope so clear everyone.
The fourth option.
Huh? Fourth option.
Fourth.
Okay. So next question, what sum will yield a simple interest of rupees 1080 in 3 years? Right, at 12%. Suppose I want to use list pen. I thought that I will do it in my mind. So how I like to do this? What sum will yield simple interest of rupees 1080 in 3 years? So what I like to do, that first of all, right, I'll try to divide it by 3. Everybody agree? Because 1080 is of 3 years. So can you divide 108 by 3? It will be 360.
360.
This is 1 year interest. Clear, everybody? Right? And which amount 12% is 360? Which numbers 12% is 360? Anybody can tell. From option, use option. Which numbers 12% is 360?
3,000.
3000. Everybody understood this or not?
Yes, sir.
Right? So when you are knowing simple interest, when you have to find out, right? So this is the idea which I am giving that 3 years 100, find out 1 year in your mind only, divided by 3, right? And then from option, which numbers 12% is this much, and that is 3000. Next one, let me see. In how many years does a sum of rupees 5000 yield a simple interest of 16500 at 15% per annum? So how would you like to do this? So can you find out yearly interest? 15% of 5,000. So 15% of 5,000, I can do like this. 5,000, 50,000, 5,000, right? So 15 upon 100 of 5,000. So I'll keep this in my mind. I'll cut it and write direct answer. This is my interest for 1 year. And how much total interest I want? They have given. We want total interest of 16500. So I hope I can cover this. 10 cancel out. So answer is 22. Everybody understood this sum? But if you do not like this method, then you can use this simple concept of simple interest equal to PRT upon 100. You can use this also to get any answer of any 3 questions, what you've done, same equation, you can use it. Just I'm giving idea that mental calculations how we can realize them. Right? So fourth number, we'll skip it. Fifth number, let me see. Everybody. Try fifth number. Question 5. Everybody got this answer? Fifth one? So fifth is telling something that a certain sum of money become 3 times of each sum at simple interest. Shall I go in this way? Suppose my principal is 100. So amount is how much? 3 times means 300. So interest will calculate. What is the interest and number of year? Let's find a number of years, simple interest and amount. Amount they say 300. Definitely my simple interest is 200. In how many years? This happened in a 6 years, right? So at the same rate, the interest, rate of interest, in how many years does it becomes 8 times of itself? 8 times of itself means principal is 800, right? And amount will be 800. That means your simple interest will be 700. Simple interest, how much? It is 700. So I'll use this simple equation. For 6 years, or to get 200 simple interest, 6 years, 700, how much? I'll keep just here n, and I'll take a ratio. Right? So n will become 21. Everyone clear? So no need to write any equation here, nothing, no variable required. Just assume that principal 100, it becomes 6 times though, or 3 times, the amount is 300. Are you clear? And the difference of this two is called simple interest. And in how many years? Same way, second case will be given. Sometimes you'll be given year and you have to find out this one. So take ratio of years and interest that remain constant because simple interest remain constant every year. So it's a linear relationship. And that's why you can take ratio and linear relationship. Everybody clear?
Yes.
Right? Or should I explain it? Go ahead with the sixth question. Something like this one is there. Certain sum becomes 19,200 in 4 years and 22,800 in 6 years. This is amount after 4 years. Sorry, in 4 years and 22,800. 22,800 in 6 years. This you are given to amount at a simple rate. Find the sum and the rate. Who will tell me how to do?
सर आपने पहले जो एग्जांपल किया वैसे ही कर लो.
What we'll do that? Look, I'll find out difference of this two.
Sir, the answer is third option.
Let me check it out. Possibly.
Okay.
We'll go with this one. Look,
Okay.
I'll take a difference of this two. What is the difference of this two? 0, 0, 6 and 3.
3,600. Yes.
But this is 2
2
years.
years interest.
So
Simple.
when you divide it by 2, you will get 1,800. Agree? This, either you do in this way, but I think in my different way. I can say that my 2 years interest is 3,600 and I'm given this amount after 4 years miss. So principal plus 4 year interest. So this is 2 years interest. I can say it is of 2 years. So I'll find out 4 years interest means double of that. So 3,600 double is 7,200. And then I'll subtract from A4. So 0, 0, I'm subtracting this one, relation 0, 0, 0 and 12. So 12,000 is my, right? And yes, yearly interest also is 1,800. So I hope so. 15% what you're telling is answer, right? So 15% of 12,000 is 1 year interest, 1,800. So try to do like simple interest most of the times, like subtraction, addition, sum would be there. In that you can handle it, right? So 7 number you try everybody. Question number 7. Anyone, any idea? This is principal, right? And interest is sorry, amount is how much? 60. Interest for 4 years. So I divide this by 4. So 3,900 is my interest, right? So now tell me, what percent of this is principal? 48,750. What percent of which percent this is 3,900? So you can use option like 4, 6, 8, and 10. It cannot be 10%. Agree? So 10% must be like this one, 4875. Right? And this is less than that. If I divide it by 2, I get 5%. So 2, 4, 37.5, but which is more than that. So answer is between 5% and 10%. Answer is between what? 5 and 10. Which one would like to select? 6 or 8? So if I don't know something, so I'll count anyone. Like suppose if I go with 1% more, so 5% will be right in a point. Like that will be 2437.5 and plus 1%. So 1% is 487.5. You can calculate like this one. But this is ending with 5. I want ending with 0. That's why 6% is rejected. I'll consider 8% as my answer. As none of this given in exam, you have to cross check once completed. Otherwise, this will do. And I think so in your paper, none of this is not given. Most of the time. Everybody clear in this? Sure. So now we'll go with question number 9. Try to everybody, 9th one. Question number 9. If we use the process of principal that is not given, rate of interest 20%. For 2 years, for first year, 20% means to morning weighted is 1/5. So it is called P by 5. Second year, it is P by 5 and plus once again 20% of this one. Right? So that's called P by 25. Once again 1/5. In addition of this, P by 5 plus P by 5 plus P by 25. That should be equal to how much? They have given 5544. Right? So we take LCM like 25. So 5 plus 5 plus 1 into P upon 25 is equal to 5544. So 11P is equal to 5544 into 25. And divide with 11. 11 5s are 4. So principal is equal to 12,600. Hope so clear everybody. Everybody understood the concept what I'm using for compound interest. First year interest is 20% is called 1/5. Second year same you'll get on the principal, but on the first year interest you get once again 1/5. So 1/5 of p by 5 is p by 25. You add it and get your answer. Clear, everybody? Or should I
Yes.
explain again? Fine. 10th number you try. This is for practice and you try this. This is 10th one is easier. You will count for 3 years. First year, 5% of this. So 10% is 1600, 5% is 800. Second year, 800 plus 5% of 800 is 40. Third year, 800, 800, 5% is 40. This 800, 5% is 40. And this 40 is 5% too. So answer is 2400, 120, and 2. So that means 2500, 22. 25 or 24. So answer would be not given, so none of this would be there. Right? So 25, 22 will come. Everybody clear with this? What I've done clear? First year, second year, and third year. So this is total interest of 3 years. 2522 of 16,000. So 11th number you try, everybody. Should I explain this 10th one again, everybody? If you're getting different answer than mine, then also tell me, right? If you're confused, but this should be the answer. So next one, try 11th number. That we did difference between the compound interest and the simple interest is given. See, the difference between the compound interest and the simple interest on a certain sum of money at 10% per annum at the end of 3 years is 62. What is the principal? You are given at the end of 3 years. Difference is 62. How to do this? Radical principal is P. 10% is we can say P by 10. So first year both simple interest and compound interest is P by 10. Second year this will be P by 10. This is same, but on this I'm getting 10% more. Third year this will be P by 10. But on principal P by 10. But on this one 10%. And on this one 10%. If you have difference between 3 years, I'll cut this because these are differences. That means 3p upon 100 plus p by 1000, that is equal to 64. Oh, sorry, 62 here. 62. I take 1000 as LCM. So 30p plus 1, 31p upon 1000 is equal to 62. So 2 so principal equal to 2000. Everybody clear concept? First year compound interest, second year, third year, difference means first line you cut, that's your difference. Remaining is difference. Should I explain it again, everyone? Anybody?
Clear, sir.
Clear? Yeah. All right. 12 number you try.
One more time.
One more time, I'll do it. Look, concept is like this one. You are given 10%. 10% means we learn in fraction is called 1/10, right? Suppose your principal, right, is P. Clear? Then first year the interest is P by 10. This is your simple interest. This one is your compound interest, right? Both are same. Second year, simple interest remain constant. Compound interest is P by 10 because on principal you will get P by 10. But once again, 10% of the interest of the first year that become P by 100. Third year, your simple interest is still same. Compound interest on principal also will get P by 10. But now on first year interest, you get 10%. Second year interest, you get 10%. And 10% of P by 100 is P by 1000. Now difference means what? So these are same, right? So this is called difference, extra. So P by 100, P by 100, P by 100, that is 3 P by 100 plus P by 100, 1000, sorry, that is given 62. Then if you take LCM, this will become 31 P by 1000. It's given 62, therefore your principal will become 2000. Now clear? But still I explain again one more time. So you have to use this approach. This approach will definitely save lots of time. You come out of equations, right? That's what I observed. Try to 12th one. So the concept, just one second, wait for a while. I'll just make you this concept easier to understand of 12th. I'll take simple question. Suppose your principal is 10,000 and rate of interest is 10%. Just try to understand. Compound interest for the first year, that is 1000, sorry, 100. For second year, it is 100 plus on 110. For third year, it is 100 on this 110, on this 110, and then 1. If I just find out individual their addition, this is 100, 110, and this will be 121. Now think in this way. If this is first year compound interest, if you give 10% on this, right, will it be 110? And if you find out 10% of 110 and add it, you get 121. Everybody clear? That means if you take every year's individual compound interest and then also add the percentage of rate of interest, you get the next year compound interest. Because in process we are adding this only 10% of this. Here what is the difference? So this as it is we are having, but we are adding 10% of this and this extra. That means this sum is telling same thing. You are not given what are your individual. These values we don't know. Right? These values we don't know. But instead of that, they have given second year and third year interest. The compound interest compounded annually on the sum for the second year and third is 1200 and 1440. So can you tell me how much increased? So 1440 minus 1200, that makes 042. Now can you calculate? This difference is 240. So what percent of 1200 is 240? Everybody understood? So if you consider 10% is 120, double it. That means 20% of 1200 is 240. That means your compound interest is 20% per annum. Should I explain this again? Anyone?
No, sir, got it.
Got it. Right. So there are few areas that you should now learn it for entrance point of view. Otherwise, in day-to-day life or school life, this is all not required. But to gain speed and reduce calculations and get right answer, miss, we can do this method. So, try it though. 13 number. We have done this one. What is the difference between the simple interest and compound interest on 16,000 at 18% for 2 years? I, this is also I. This is I, this is I, but this is interest on interest. And this is the difference. Just we learn that. So how to do that? Suppose your principal. What is the principal given? 16,000 and 18%. 16,000 and 18%. So this is 18% of 16,000 and this is 18% once again on this interest. That means 18% of 18% of 16,000. That's your answer. But the best way is what? You find out 18% separately. Like 16,000, 18% means this is 10%. And 160 is called 1%, double it. You subtract this. Right? Clear? So this is interest of the right first year. And once again, 18%. So that means this is 10%. 12.8 is 1%. One more 1%. That is subtract from this. Right? That is your right. This is your 2 years. Oh, something error happened in calculation. Achha, 18% is there. Sorry, huh? I calculated 8%. Very sorry. Very sorry. 18% is 20% minus 2%. This will be easier. 20% of 16,000, right? So this is 10%. So 20 means 3,200 and 2% is 320. Right? Today morning only we did that 18%, right? So 2800. Once again, 18% is 20%. So this is 10% double of this. 576 and 170 subtract 57.6. So it is 518.40. Clear, everybody? This is your right. So difference of simple and compound for 2 years is interest. Or remember this equation that percentage upon 100 square right, into principal. This is the answer. Just I gave initially the difference between simple and compound interest is percentage upon 100 square into right principal. Are you clear to here? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Right. I'll find out some difference if possible. 16 type of sum we have done that. 1 minute. Huh? One sum I give from my side and you try to do it. This is also asking it. Suppose an amount is kept at a compound interest. An amount doubles itself after 5 years, right? When kept at compound interest, right? Fine. In how many years? Yes. It will become 8 times. So an amount gets double itself, right? After 5 years. Kept in, means kept at compound interest, not given interest. Then find in how many years, right? It will become 8 times. So how to solve this? How to solve this? Anyone? Anybody? Right. So this is not in this one. Just an amount doubles itself in 5 years. Right? Then, when kept at a compound interest, find in how many years it will become 8 times of itself. So how to find out this? So we'll go with this one. Like one, you can go with principal one and amount, right? And here you write down number of years. So in 5 years, it will become 2 times means 2. So in compound interest, you can go with this process. Now this amount you take as a principal. In next 5 years, it will be double. 4. Once again, this 4 you keep as an amount. In if you use method, then logarithm required for this. And as such, in examination, log will not be given to you. And that's why this will be the only way you'll ask the question. So total will take 15 years. Understood, everyone? So you keep on doing like this, right? Then one, if you keep principal, take principal as 1 rupee and get it double in 5 years. 2 rupee will become 4 rupee in 5 years. 4 will become 8 rupee in 5 years. That means in total 15 years, it will become 8 times. Hope so clear, everybody. So the first day means I'll haven't understood like how much you have understood, but any correction, anything required, right? You let me know. I'm starting with the basic things today with percentage. If you want, right? Once again to take some few area in that one, then you let me know. You practice on this compound interest and simple interest nicely. One day you spend, you'll get permanently what you want. Okay, everybody? Sure. So we'll stop here our session, right? We'll meet next time. And by the next time you prepare something, I'll ask for a few session for doubt clearing and I'll send this material. So if you do not have anything else, you prepare from this. Bye, everybody. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.